Hello everyone, and welcome to or welcome back to the channel. I'm Blitz.
I'm SOLSPUR'S.
And today we are doing a build merge challenge, which is kind of a spin on like a build swap speed build challenge where we're going to be giving each other a style to do and building our own individual houses first, and then merging those styles and concepts into one bigger, more collaborative build piece as well. So I think the first thing that we have to do is draw some styles out of the droppers here. We've both picked out 9 styles for each other and put them into our respective droppers. So we're going to see what style we'll get for our very first initial builds, which we'll be doing over in these little 16 by 16 plots so that we don't get too crazy on the size and scope of these ones. So I'm drawing from the left one.
Okay.
And
I'm
you can draw
nervous.
from that one. I know, I really don't know what you're going to put in here. I'm scared. This is going to be the decider.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, no wait.
Does it... Oh!
There's a torch on the bottom. Just remove that. There
Wait.
you go. No, remove the redstone torch.
Oh right, because of the... I see.
Yep.
Aha, yes, of course. A Minecraft redstone lessons while we're at it. Oh, Dwarven. Oh, I nearly put this
Western.
style in yours, but I didn't. Oh,
I
Western.
didn't think about Western. Ooh.
That's one of the ones I just added last second. That'll be so interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think those could go well together.
And we're just gonna time lapse up our first 2 builds that we do here to the styles. So I've got Dwarven, you've got
I got Western.
Western. All right, and then let's just time lapse our first 2 little builds and see what we can come up with. Let's go. With that, our 2 little starter house style builds are done. We have our Dwarven one by me here on the left and the Western one by SOLSPUR'S here on the right. Do you want to show off your little Western build?
Sure. Okay. So the exterior is pretty nice. I see most Western roofs be kind of flat, so I added this flat ridge here. And then I whenever I build Western, I always depend on this like square roof. So I wanted to mix things up and add like a little normal kind of ish roof here.
Yeah, I
on
really
top.
like it. I like how the blue contrasts with like the mangrove and the red sandstone and stuff of the other colors. in the
Yeah,
build.
it looks really good. I was trying to not like make it blend in too much with the rest of the build.
Yeah.
I added this nice little balcony. I added some acacia bones as some rocks.
Yeah, they're
little
really
rocks.
nice.
I have dead bushes. Some rocks back here. I have this well right here, which I think is very nice.
Yeah.
This is not possible in vanilla. I used some world edit tricks, but
Oh, wait.
yeah. You can
What
see
about it isn't
that
possible?
the fence is not attaching to the block. So
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yeah. It's the
like a
little
small
details.
subtlety, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Going inside. Oh wait, one more thing
Mhm.
is I use these trapdoors to add like a pattern to the wall, I guess.
Yeah, I really like
And
them.
sometimes on like the more broken down bits of the build, you'll notice like here's on the stripped logs and some on the dirt kind of bits of it. So just small details. On the inside, I kind of like made it like kind of like a little cafe kind of thing. So like here's like a drink thing right here.
Yeah, like a little drink machine. That's cute.
Yep. A little desk for them to order their stuff at. Some, I don't even know what this is. I just added it.
Yeah.
Same goes with this. This was originally going to be a table, but then I added some amethyst on top of it. Maybe just for display.
Yeah.
And then I use these mangrove leaves to add a bit of dryness to the leaves. Because these look more dead than the other ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very cool. It turned out well.
Thank you.
And then
I'm
we
excited to
have...
see yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see most of it just from the outside. The interior is pretty much all visible from outside as well. But this is a little dwarven temple. I kind of wanted to have it built into the cliffside, so there's not much to see around the back or around the sides.
I love the back. That's my favorite part.
Oh yeah. And I built a few custom spruce trees. It's got 2 big chimneys coming out of it that I like added a bit of a gradient of black stone into to help make them stand out a bit from all the deep slate going on the front of the build, because one of the big things I was trying to tackle with it is that the front of the building was majority deep slate and everything kind of blended together, but we ended up adding a bit of like these copper and acacia details and that in back through here as well as all these little dark oak details, which I think really helped add some more contrast and colors onto the front of it.
Yeah, like it turned out really good. Like I can tell like where everything is, what everything is. Like all the colors help it more visible. Like, all the green and grays and blacks.
It's fun, and I always just love stone gradient. So when I was like, oh, I can add black stone into this, I think that helped the build a lot. And then inside, there's nothing too fancy. We have a big dwarven throne kind of thing. Oh, I've just pressed. No, incorrect. So we have a throne, and then I've just got 2 fireplaces you can see down there on either side, just mirrors of each other to help line up with the chimneys. And then just a little bit of armor with some gold on it. Really nothing too crazy going on the inside. Mostly just a big grand throne.
I like the dead coral.
Oh yeah, I really love
like really good.
dead brain coral in stone schemes.
I feel like it's so hard to like use it right because it's such an odd block, but I think you did a really good job of using it.
Thank you. I think it mixes in really well with a lot of just like stone texture schemes. It's a really fun block. It's my favorite of the dead corals for sure, is the brain coral.
Yeah, me too. For sure.
And that is pretty much our 2 builds that we've come up with for our styles we were given from the droppers of choosing. So now comes phase 2 of the plan, which is going to be to collaborate and create a bigger build in this 35 by 35 square, I believe, as opposed to the 16 by 16s of our starter houses, and try and merge the 2 concepts. So we got some really interesting styles for this one. Western and Dwarven. We were thinking maybe we build something like a Dwarven temple that Western civilization has moved into, like an abandoned Dwarven temple or something. We'll see what we can come up with for it, because it's definitely some brainstorming that needs to happen, but I'm really excited to see how this turns out, because I can't say I've ever seen a Western Dwarven build before.
Me too.
So this should be quite the adventure. We're basically just going to launch straight into another time lapse here, so I will see you guys on the other side of this build. Let's go! And with that, our time lapse is now complete, and behind us we have probably the first ever Western and Dwarven build you have ever seen. It's the first Western Dwarven build I've ever seen.
Me too. Me too.
I'm really happy with how this came out. This was actually such a fun project, and I think it looks really cool. It looks really interesting. Would you like to have a look about and explore of the place?
Of course, of course.
I last minute decided to add this little bit of land under the well and raise up this segment by one, just because I wanted a little more variation in the terrain. So we have this little well out front, and we did it obviously in the whole like mesa badlands background. We have a whole big cliff back there. I really liked your addition of the trade up here at the back. That's a really cool little touch. I think that's so fun.
Thank you.
And we have a big water tower coming up and out of the Dwarven temple, and then just a bunch of little buildings scattered around and coming out of it. This build was just more like a resident house, right? This wasn't anything in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got little interiors going on, just a little bedroom in here. It's a bit cute. And this one is the saloon. I believe you did the saloon interior. It's cute. I love the little Western houses. Oh yeah, I added a potato.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you did this section here, but
I just came back through and I was like, I think the saloon is missing something, and that something is a baked potato, so there's a baked potato.
baked
Also,
potatoes are good.
there's a bat here. Do you think he's the bartender, or do you think he's a customer? He's serving bartender.
He's a janitor.
Oh. Beautiful. So we can have the proper full entrance into the main Dwarven temple, I suppose, hall.
Yep.
And
Ooh,
instead
that
of
looks so
doing it did turn out really well. I love the gradient of the stone still. And instead of doing like what I did in my little Dwarven model, we decided instead of having like a throne to just have this big like fancy red carpet that leads into this darkness that's definitely not a wall of black concrete. It definitely goes down to some very big, very epic Dwarven mines and such.
Yes, for sure.
Down into the underbelly of this massive Dwarven facility. And we decided to kind of do it like the Western folk had moved into the Dwarven temple, so we kind of brought in a little bit of a stable here on the left side, like they're just kind of filling the space with whatever uses they have for it, and they've crammed a bunch of animal life here into this left wing. There's a few goats.
Actually, point out the goat.
Amazing.
Goat is my favorite.
Yeah, I like the alpaca.
Yes,
He's cute.
They're good.
And you can come over here and climb up this ladder as well to a little upstairs segment where there's a bunch of just like hay storage, and this would be probably other animal item storage, carpets for the llamas, saddles for the horses, all of that fun stuff. And this is something you may not have noticed. I added this tiny little like walkway to get between these upper wings just because I thought it would be convenient. A nice tiny little thing, and you can't really see it from the outside, but I love these little features of buildings where you can have fun ways of getting between different areas for the convenience, ease of access.
I love like the trapdoors, like
yeah,
for really good ones.
Thank you. Yeah, and I thought they fitted in well with the roof because the roof already has all the acacia trapdoors on them. And then this is another one of the ways up here, which is just a ladder that leads back down.
Pretty sure there's another ladder right here.
Yes, and I decorated this little room as well. This is like a kind of bedroom, a spot for some of the people working and living here at the temple and in our little Western settlement to stay. So they have this bit of storage here at the back. I added these like blackout curtains to help with like the heat of the sun and the light if they're resting during the day. And then we have 3 little bunks right here. Down we go. And then we just have the right wing, which I really like. You did this lower segment of it. Do you want to explain how the facility works, if you will?
Yeah. So basically, they take their raw iron, they'll melt into little pieces. Then I imagine it would like get smushed and like expand because it's being pushed down on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It makes for an ingot, and then it comes all the way here. It becomes a block of
yeah, and then it all gets funneled into the kind of mold of the iron block shape. Very fancy, very fun.
And then another little detail, you notice iron blocks have lines on them, so I use trapdoors that have like lines like this.
Yeah, it makes sense. Very cool, very cool. And we have a few tools over here, and then just a little bit of
Yep.
a workstation or like sink for dipping
Yeah,
and cooling tools and metal in. There's a tiny interior here, but it's just kind of some blast furnaces, kind of a little cooking and smelting room if necessary. And then I just added these few little platforms kind of coming up the side to make it seem like there was a bit more going on in this room, with another doorway into some other very fancy, very cool part of the Dwarven
Definitely
facility.
goes further down than this. Definitely not black concrete. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. No.
I think this turned out really cool. I just love experimenting with the styles and trying to like merge the two concepts and ideas. It's
Yes,
been
for
very
sure, for
fun.
sure.
I would love to do more of these like style swap build mergey challenges because they're really
Yeah,
cool.
me too. Yeah.
And I mean that's probably about it for the build merge challenge. I don't think there's anything else really to show. But it has been a very, very fun little project. I really enjoyed pulling this build together.
Me too. Yeah, so if you want to go check out my video where we do a super intense challenge that never done before, at least I've seen, yeah, it's gonna be pretty epic. It seems impossible, but we'll make it work.
Oh, I'm keen. I'm actually really keen to see if we can make it work. So don't forget to head on over to SOLSPUR'S channel and check out the other half of our collaboration. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. And then into the cinematics. Dramatic music.
Cinematic.
Woo, yeah, whoa, shaders. Oh. Amazing.